Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Yeah, sorry about the late upload. I had a killer migraine that I was trying to get rid of. So that's why the video is up so late. Let's get straight into our What If. No, this is the redo of What If the Midoriyas were fallen angels from high school DxD. So I changed some things around, used different use different things for the story, so this won't be a combined universe with anything. It'll just be My Hero Academia. Some extra shit like witches, vampires, and werewolves and shit like that, but nevertheless, let's get on to the story. Inko Nasashi found a very unique lesser secret gear that's able to teleport to places. Teleport to places you already been. Even though most supernatural creatures have access to teleportation with the use of magic, but with this lesser secret gear, it's the perfect tool to sneak into heaven to steal a holy artifact that will open a portal to another universe that that heaven has kept lock lock and key under lock and key basically. The moment when she found out she was pregnant, she ripped the secret gear off the human, killing him instant. You know, secret gear is a part of your soul, so dead, not coming back. So, anyways, if, unless a devil reincarnates you, but nevertheless, that's not happening here. The human died shortly after the secret gear was ripped out of him. By Inko found means to do so. She didn't really bat an eye at that. He was only human after all. Her child's safety is more important than some random human. Unfortunately, before they could begin their plan, Hasashi was hunted down and killed by one of the high-class devils. Inka was forced to initiate her plan early than expected. She had no love toward she had no love towards the man. They simply had a common goal. They used each other. She was planning to kill him anyways when they made it to the new dimension that they're trying to travel through. She was on. She didn't know what this artifact would send her to, but it has to be better than this place. She successfully infiltrated Heaven. She had to act fast before Heaven noticed her presence. She stealthily killed the two reincarnation angels that was guarding the artifact. As Inko steps into the room, as you see a huge mirror in the middle of the room, immediately she begins chanting some sort of language. As the mirror glows a bright gold color, as Inko hears a familiar voice behind her. It's been a while, Inko. As Inko turns around to see Gabrielle, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I really don't know. If I butchered it, leave it down on the comments. I don't know how to phrase her word properly. Can't I can't phrase a lot of words properly right now. But anyways, that's neither here or there. I think I'll turn around and say hello to Gabrielle. Indeed, it's been a while. What are you up to, Inko? I wish not to hurt you. I mean you and heaven no harm, Gabrielle. I'm only using these artifacts to get out of here. Angel Gabrielle, basically. Gabrielle for short. I really don't need. That's not actually Angel her name, but it's just Gabrielle. This is what race she is, basically. Gabrielle has a curious look on her face. She's just curious what she's up to. Wait. As Gabrielle noticed a second life force inside Inko. Wait, you're pregnant? I feel another life form in you. You're always clever one, big sis. I think I understand what you're trying to do. Are you going to stop me, sister? If it was anyone else, I would, but because it's you, Inko, I will not interfere. I'm deeply saddened. I'm sorry. I was deeply sad the day you fell. What do you expect when I found out father was dead? There's no point in acting like he's still around. I'm deeply saddened by father's death as well. There's a reason why I kept it from you. I knew how deeply fond you were towards father. Who's the father, anyways, sister? Fallen angel Asashi. Asashi. I do remember him. He was always a crafty one. Well, crafty and very driven by craving more power. It is quite a miracle that. Sorry, give me a second here, guys. It is quite a miracle that two fallen angels are able to reproduce a offspring. Not unheard of, but very rare. Where is he? Dead. By some devil fools. Well, actually, he says, by the devils, the fool. That's very unfortunate. You don't seem to be upset about it. Why would I? I got what I wanted out of our bargain. As Gabrielle gives Inka a sideward look as she walks over towards her, gives her a big hug. You know, this artifact could send you to many different dimensions. There's not a set course. I know where you can live peacefully. I visit that dimension a few times. What do you mean, Gabrielle? You don't need to worry. In this dimension, there is no devils, angels, or any. I'm sorry, angels or any other supernatural creatures outside of vampires and werewolves, of course. But you were always a warrior, little sister. As Gabriel changed the location to the artifact, which changed the location that artifact was gonna travel to. Don't give me that look, little sister. A big sister will always be concerned over her little sister. That will never change, no matter what. If you're an angel or a fallen angel, that will never change. You might be a fallen angel, but my love for you will never change, my dear little sister. You're always too soft. I suppose I am. Take care of yourself, sister. You too. Send Michael my regards. You know, if you simply contacted me, I would have gladly helped you. I couldn't take the chance. We kind of didn't leave on a. We kind of didn't leave on good terms the last time we spoke. We might have an argument, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't help you. I just wish you reached out to me. But nevertheless, I'll tell Michael you said you were. I'll tell Michael you tell him greetings. He would be very relieved. He's been kind of worried about you. Michael worried about me? Highly doubt it. Don't don't push off your brother. Don't push your brother too fast. He has a caring heart, even though he's quite mischievous half the time. He's always been a warrior, Wart. Goodbye. And I'm sorry about the reincarnation. I'm sorry about the reincarnation dead angels, by the way. It's quite alright. We could easily replace them. I'll see you soon. Inko turns around. Inko turns around and enters the golden glowing mirror. As she disappears, as she enters this new dimension, My Hero Academia universe, basically, she exits the mirror in the abandoned church. Well, actually, She exited a familiar duplicate mirror in a abandoned church in the middle of the forest. The abandoned church is miles away from any civilization. The only thing nearby, the church, is a pack house from a local werewolf clan. Luckily, the church is located outside of their territory, so the werewolves didn't catch her scent. Even if they catched her scent, they wouldn't be able to tell what it was. They'll most likely send, scouts to check it out, but nevertheless, they're unknowing of her existence. As several months, sorry, as several months, Inko was walking in the dead of night in one of the cities until she started to go in labor. Before she could hit the ground, a blonde spiky hair woman catches her before she fell onto the pavement. The last thing Inko said before she passed out was no hospitals. The woman could tell that she's not normal. She could tell she can sense magic in her. Misty Bakugo took her back to her covenant house. She knows the other witches can help this poor woman. She she was unsure what she is, but she knows that this woman is not a human. She could tell she's not neither a vampire or a werewolf. Mitsuki never left Inko's side when she was giving birth to her child. At first, she was very suspicious of this woman. Well, Inko at first was very suspicious of this woman during her recovery from giving birth to her son Izuku. They slowly started to form a friendship over the months. But Mitsuki reassured Inko that they mean her no harm or her child. After all, she understands how she feels as a mother herself. She understands the drive to protect her child. Mitsuki is very overprotective over her daughter, Kazuki Bakugo. But one day, during a rogue werewolf attack, their friendship changed to something Inko wasn't prepared for. Since that night, they both started having romantic feelings towards each other. During the first 2 years in their relationship, Inko finally told Misty that she was a fallen angel from a different dimension. She was surprised, but at the same time she didn't. She was surprised. At the same time, she didn't mind. She was enchanted by her black wings. Over the years, Misty tempered Inko's vicious nature to a certain point. She's a fallen angel. She's still going to be vicious as hell. Nevertheless, let's continue. As soon as as soon as Izuku was able to walk, Inko began his harsh training, making, teaching him how to make light spears flying with his wings when they finally manifested. As he cut to Izuku throwing his green light spear at a target, as he misses, do it again. As Inko stares down her son, as the 8-year-old fallen angel is constantly creating light weapons, as his mother constantly ordered him to throw light spears at the target. I don't care how long this takes. You're gonna make a light spear until it becomes second nature. And if you don't, I'll kill you. If you haven't formed a proper light spear in the next 10 hours, I'll end you personally. Understood, mother. Good. Now get to work. As Inko walks away, not even looking back at her son, Mitsuki was observing Izuku in their conversation. Sweetheart, was that a little harsh? I will not have a weakling for a son. If he's weak, then his life is meaningless. The brat either going to concede or die. There is no coddling a fallen sorry. There's no coddling a fallen angel. Sorry, there's no coddling. A fallen angel that can't even form a proper light spear is no fallen angel at all. Mitsuki walks towards Izuku. Mitsuki taps Izuku on the shoulder. Mitsuki notices the damage on Izuku's hand as she tells him to sit down as she tends to his wounds, his wounded hand. Why does my mom hate me? She doesn't hate you, sweetheart. She loves you, even though she doesn't show it. Your mother only tough on you because she wants the best for you. She has a funny way of showing it. As she gives Izuku a big hug, I might not have any knowledge of light spears, but I know magic. The methods can't be too different. As she spends the next few hours helping Izuku with his training, as Izuku finally forms a proper light spear, as the light spear is sticking out of the target, in the middle of the target, basically. I did it. You did well. As Izuku stares up at Mitsuki with a bright smile, thank you, Mother Mitsuki. Anytime, sweetheart. I see you finally made progress. It seems like I don't have to kill you today. Run along. Izuku run off to find Kasuki. Seriously, dear? It wouldn't kill you to praise Izuku a little bit. I'll praise him when I see something that's worth praising. Sweetheart, you're too harsh on him. It's not good for him to do... Oh, sorry, it's not good for him. You do realize Izuku thinks that he hate... Sorry. You do realize that Izuku thinks that you hate him. I see. I'm taking a walk. That woman's so damn stubborn. As Ingo stops before she walks up any further. Before she walks any further, basically. I don't hate my son, Mitsuki. He needs to be stronger. I'm harsh on him for a reason, dear. I know one day I won't be around. I just want him to be able to protect himself. Thank you for helping him. Thank you for helping him, dear. How long were you watching? The whole time, my love. Inko begins to walk away, leaving the conversation at that, as she goes to clear her head. We time skip 6 years. Izuku is 14 at the current time. Kasuki is 15, she's a year older. A blonde girl is running through the forest, being chased by werewolves. As the girl's laughing the whole time, as she throws a couple explosions when one of the werewolves got close. Come on, you can't take a joke, you filthy mutt. As we cut to Izuku just taking a stroll in the forest, the forest that surrounds the house. For it's a good, yeah, the forest is pretty big. It's probably 3 or 4 miles spreading, so it's a big forest. He always found the wilderness relaxing for some odd reason, and the animals would never run away from him. Half the time, they would follow him around. Even the deers would come up to Izuku for him to pet them. He found it odd after the years. Found it odd at first, but over the years, it became a normal occurrence. While he enters the forest for a stroll. 5 minutes later, he hears Kasuki yelling as she's heading strictly towards Izuku, by the sound getting closer. As he sees Katsuki stops in front of him, kneeled over, panting. Izuku knows the werewolves coming in the clearing, approaching their position. I know I'm going to regret this. What did you do, sister? These werewolves seem to be very mad. Again, it's none of my business. As Izuku begins to walk away. You're just going to leave me here? It looks like I am, sister. Seriously, you're not going to help me, bro? I could help you if I wanted to. I don't tell you enough of these adventures. Oh, sorry. Warned you this would happen eventually. These ventures you'd like to go on. I'll help you. If you simply have to ask me nicely. Izuku starts to have a little bit of a grin. You're evil. I'm a fallen angel. That's our default setting. With a with a nonchalant expression on his face. I suggest you make up your mind. Those wolves, those werewolves are getting closer and they look pretty pissed off. And there's quite a few of them heading towards us. Fine, fine, you win, Izuku. Can you please help me? Of course, sister. I would love to help you. After all, what type of brother would I be if I didn't help you? As he gives his sister a wink, you shitty bastard. Good, you're angry. You're gonna need it. I hate you. I love you too, sis. Several werewolves comes rushing towards Izuku as he simply each sidesteps them. He sidesteps every single one of them that each time they try to attack Izuku. Even when they shift into their wolf form, Izuku just slightly sidesteps him with a bored expression on his face. As he dodges several werewolves, sis, what did you even do to these mutts? Kasugi, Kasugi, immediately let out a huge explosion. It's not my fault they can't take a joke. Seriously, sis? Fine, fine. I might have switched their lunches and replaced it with kibbles and bits. At school earlier today. The werewolves stopped in their tracks. As immediately they turned their head upwards as there's a loud howl in the distance. Izuku noticed all the werewolves look back at him and his sister as they snarl at the two of them. They immediately start to run off in the opposite direction, getting a command from their alpha. Kasuki is breathing heavy. Izuku walks towards her to make sure she wasn't hurt. Are you good, Kasuki? Yeah, I'm fine. Come on, let's go home. Yeah, I hear you, Izuku. School would be a lot more tolerable if you attended. That's probably not going to happen. You know how mom is about the the human population. Even if I wanted to, our mother is very keen on keeping me away from the from schools. Sometime later, they arrive at their home immediately. When they enter the house, Mitsuki demands where they've been. Izuku inform well, Kazuki informed her mother of the situation. Why can't you leave? Why can't you leave those werewolves alone, daughter? You're lucky their alpha was nearby. The situation, sorry, the situation should have been a would have been a whole lot worse if you managed to kill one of them. The last thing we needed is a whole pack of werewolves gunning for us, dear. Why didn't you go upstairs and get ready for dinner? Kazuki immediately ran off upstairs to get dressed. I'm glad you were there, Izuku. It's no problem. I would never allow for Kazuki to get hurt. I like to tease her a lot, but I would never allow anyone to hurt her. We might not be siblings by blood, but I see her as my sister, and and I see you as a nicer mother than my other one. As Misky sighs, why don't you go on and get ready to? Understood. Misky stopped Izuku for a brief second. I'm glad you weren't hurt, son. I won't be long, mother, Misky. I'll be down in a few minutes. Minutes. Can't pronounce that for some reason. Izuku begins to walk to his room to get dressed. When he finally made his way downstairs, he sees his sister and his two mothers sitting down in the kitchen at the dining table, getting ready to eat. As Inko gestures Izuku to sit down to eat dinner. Son, how's your day? As Mitsuki asks, staring at her son, curious. Pleasant. Good, but pleasant. That's good, sweetheart. How's your day been going, Katsuki? My day's been fun, Mom. Fun. Interesting. I don't like the look in your eye, Katsuki. Apparently, our beloved daughter decided to cause some troubles with the werewolves again. Inko starts to giggle at her comment. Just be careful, dear. Werewolves can be quite shifty. Sweetheart, a pun? Really? Hmm, I don't know. I thought it was funny. But I'm glad you're fine. As Mitsuki was concerned, Inko has always treated Katsuki a lot more nicer than Izuku, but Izuku is a lot more closer with Mitsuki than his own biological mother. Inko, do, Inko does care about her son. She's quite nice when it comes to fallen angel standards. Izuku came to my attention that I've been harsh on you. You've been doing very well in your training. I believe you are ready now. Ready for what, Mom? To attend the same school that your sister goes to. I never imagined I never would imagine you would say that. I never attend I never attended you to stay away from humans from the human school. I just had to make sure that you're able to control your strength and your magic before I allow you to attend a human school. We fallen angels, son. We are far more superior than humans. And accidentally killing a human would be very easy for our kind, without keeping your strength in check. Everything I put you through over the years had sorry, put you through over the years, you needed to learn when you eventually venture on your own, son. Despite despite I dread the day that you go on your own path. I'm your mother. It is my responsibility to make sure you have the right tools. I might not say it a lot, sweetheart, but I do care for you. And your sister, you and your sister are the most important thing in my world outside of Misky, of course. When do I start, Mother? Tomorrow. I already had the papers transferred because I had you homeschooled. You don't have you don't have to do much. You're far above a average student, so I know you'll do fine. Kisuki, dear. Yes, Mom? Will you please help him to adjust to the human world, to the human school? Of course. Ego form a grin on her face. What that means, my dear, you're in charge. Oh, this is going to be fun. You can't be serious, Mom. I'm quite serious, son. While you're at this human school, you're to listen to your sister, understood? As you wish, Mother. Please excuse me, I suddenly lost my appetite. Where are you going? On a fucking walk. Izuku steps through the front door as it slams when he on his way out. I guess he's going through his rebellious stage. As she looks over towards Keisuke, Inko sees a warrior expression on her face. Don't worry, Keisuke. Just give him some time to blow off some steam. I said that really slow for some reason, but nevertheless, that's what I said. Immediately when he left the house, he manifested his black, well, fallen angel wings. As he immediately takes flight, Izuku has always found flying the perfect activity to clear his mind. He enjoys He enjoys the feel of the wind blowing through his face and hair, as he always flies around the forest, never venturing outside of the borders of the forest. As we cut to a short-haired girl in the middle of the forest, next to the lake, there's a group of candles on a pentagram. Jiro's been out here for hours practicing witchcraft under her mother's strict orders. A few seconds later, during her practice, she hears Kazuki's voice. Jiro was confused that her first instinct was to hide behind a tree as she eavesdropped on Kazuki. They've met a few times during some witch ceremonies. Never really talked much. Kazuki yelled out for Izuku when she got to the lake where they spent a lot of time with each other. Kazuki finally sees Izuku hovering down with both his wings out. But unknowns to the two, she peeked her head out of from the tree trunk as she sees Kazuki talking to talking to someone in the air. As she locked eyes on Izuku, as she was memorized by the black wings. As Jiro was memorized by the scene in front of her, as she said beautiful, a little too loud, as she covered her mouth too, and she hid right back to the tree. Hopefully they didn't notice her. Izuku's too focused on Kazuki to notice Jiro nearby. What do you want, sister? It's getting late. I just want to see if you're alright. As as a big sister, I do worry. Only by a year. But to your question, Kazuki, I'm fine. You know how that woman irritates me. Can you please land on the ground? My neck is hurting from talking to you from up in the air, please. My apologies. Izuku gracefully lands on the ground with his black wings. Immediately when he touches the ground, the black wings dissipate. I just wanted to make sure you don't hate me. I know, I know Mom treats me different than you. I don't hate you, sis. Despite that angry front you give out to other people. I know you I know you have a general kind heart. Katsuki immediately slapped Izuku on the back. Thank you, little brother. Come on, angel boy. Let's go home. We have school tomorrow. At least you'll be there to keep things bearable. That's where we're going to stop our part off. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judged by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.